Hello everyone, welcome back to Agri Farming. If you are new here, welcome to Agri Farming. Today, I would like to discuss about what is hydroponics and its system. I request you to please like and subscribe and please push the bell button so that you will notify whenever new video is uploaded. So, let's get into it. What is hydroponics? Hydroponics, by definition, is a method of growing plants in water-based, nutrient-rich solution. Hydroponics does not use soil. Instead, the root system is supported using an inert medium such as perlite, rock wool, clay pellets, peat moss, or vermiculite. Basically, hydroponics is a type of horticulture and a subset of hydroculture, which is a method of growing plants without soil by using mineral nutrient solution in water solvent. Literally, the word hydroponics comes from the roots hydro meaning water and ponos meaning labor. This method of gardening does not use soil. In a nutshell, the idea behind hydroponics is to remove as many barriers as possible between a plant's roots and the water, oxygen, and nutrients it needs to grow. This can be done in many different ways, which is why we'll look at the different types of system you can use to grow hydroponically. But first, let's understand the benefits and disadvantages of growing without soil. Here comes the benefits or advantages of hydroponics farming. The most balanced benefit of hydroponics gardening is the massively increased growth rate of most plants. It's not uncommon for a plant to grow at least 20% faster than soil gardening. On top of that, plants will typically yield at least 25% more than their soil counterparts. This happens because you are making it easier for them to get the nutrients they need to grow. When they have to struggle less to find pockets of water or nutrition like they would in soil, they can divert the energy to growth. It's important to keep in mind that you only enjoy these benefits if you set up and maintain your hydroponic garden carefully. The biggest disadvantage of hydroponics farming is the cost of buying a system. However, you can build most of these systems yourself if you want to, which can reduce the cost. Another negative is the experience required to run a system successfully. It's not that hard, but it's certainly more difficult than growing the same plant in soil. This is because you are creating an artificial environment where you provide the water, nutrients, light, and everything else the plant needs, which means you also need to monitor those inputs. If one of those elements is out of balance or you have an equipment failure like a pump dying, then your entire garden can be put at risk. Here comes the types of hydroponic systems. There are 6 main types of hydroponic systems to choose from. They are wick systems, deep water culture, nutrient film technique, ebb and flow, aeroponics, and drip systems. Now, let's get into the details of types of hydroponic systems. The first is wicking systems. A wicking system is the most basic type of hydro systems you can build. It's been used for thousands of years, though it wasn't considered a hydroponic system back then. It's what's known as passive hydroponics, meaning that you don't need any air pump or water pumps to use it. Nutrients and water are moved into a plant's root zone through a wick, which is often something as simple as a rope or piece of felt. One key to success with a wicking system is to use a growing media that transports water and nutrients well. Good choices include coconut coir, perlite, or vermiculite, Wick systems are good for smaller plants that don't use up a lot of water or nutrients. Larger plants may have a hard time getting enough of either through a simple wick system. The benefits of wick systems are truly hands-off if you set up correctly. Fantastic for small plants, beginner gardeners, and children. The biggest disadvantage is you cannot use it for larger plants. Incorrect wick placement or material can mean death of your plants. The next is deep water culture systems. Deep water culture, which I will refer to as DWC from here on out, is hands down the easiest type of hydro systems to use. In DWC system, you use a reservoir to hold a nutrient solution. The roots of your plants are suspended in that solution so that they get constant supply of water, oxygen, and nutrients. To oxygenate the water, you use the air pump with an air stone to pump bubbles into the nutrient solution. This prevents your roots from drowning in the water. Your plants are typically housed in a net pots that are placed in a foam board or into the top of the container that you are using for your reservoir. With some hydroponic growing media added into your net pots, they provide a home for the very beginning of your root system and plant stems. Benefits of DWC are it's very inexpensive and easy to make at home, extremely low maintenance, and recirculating, so less wasted inputs. The disadvantages of DWC are: the first is it doesn't work well for large plants. Second is it doesn't work well for plants with long growing period. The next type is EBB and flow systems. EBB and flow systems, which are also known by the name flood and drain, are a less commonly seen system, but they are still quite effective and can be best choice depending on your situation. Unlike the previous two hydro systems we have covered, an EBB and flow systems doesn't expose the roots of your plants to nutrient solution at a constant basis. Instead, you grow in a tray filled with growing medium. The tray is flooded with your nutrient solution a few times per day, depending on factors like the size of your plants, the water requirement of your plants, the air temperature, where your plants are in growth cycle, and many more. Flooding is accomplished by using a reservoir below the tray, a water pump, and a timer to schedule the flooding cycle. After the tray is flooded, gravity drains the solution back down into the reservoir, where it is being oxygenated by an air pump and air stone. It sits there waiting for the next flood cycle, and the process goes on. Hydroponic growers choose EBB and flow systems for their flexibility. Most of them will fill the tray with a growing medium of their choice and also add net pots to organize their plants and control the roots a bit more. The benefits of EBB and flow are the efficient use of water and energy, highly customizable to your specific needs. The disadvantage of EBB and flow are given as roots can dry out quickly if environmental conditions are off or the pump or timer fails. Uses of lot of growing medium. Nutrient film technique, NFT. The nutrient film technique, which I refer to as NFT, is the popular commercial hydroponic system. Plants are grown in channels that have a nutrient solution pumping through them and constantly running along the bottom of the channel. When the solution reaches the end of the channel, it drops back into a main reservoir and is sent back to the beginning of the system again. This makes it recirculating systems just like deep water culture. Unlike deep water culture, your plant's roots are not completely submerged in NFT system. Hence, the film part of the system's name. Plants are placed in these channels using net pots and growing medium, and can be placed and harvested on a one-by-one basis. The benefits of nutrient film technique are minimal growing medium needed. Weak and recirculating systems means less waste. The disadvantages of NFT are pump failure or any kind of completely ruin your crop. The second is roots can become overgrown and clog the channels. Hydroponics system is aeroponics system. Aeroponics systems are the most high-tech hydroponic setup that you can build, but they are not the complex ones you understand how they work. An aeroponic system is similar to a NFT system in that the roots are mostly suspended in air. The difference is that an aeroponic system achieves this by misting the root zone with nutrient solution constantly instead of running a thin film of nutrient solution along a channel. Some growers prefer to mist on a cycle like an EBB and flow system, but the cycle is much shorter, typically only waiting a few minutes between each misting. It's also possible to mist on a continual basis and use a fine sprayer to ensure more oxygen and gets to the root zone. The benefits of aeroponic systems is roots are often exposed to more oxygen than submerged root systems. The disadvantage of aeroponics are high pressure nozzles can fail and root can dry out. Not as cheap or easy to set up as other methods. Last but not the least systems is drip systems. Drip systems are extremely common in commercial operations, but less common in recreational gardens. This is because they are simple to operate, a large scale, but slightly overkill for a smaller garden. Regardless, they are a great way to grow hydroponically that you should consider. The benefits of drip systems are its high level of control over feeding and water schedule, less likely to break, and it's relatively cheap. The disadvantage of drip systems are may be overkill for a smaller garden, fluctuating pH and nutrient levels, high waste. What is the best growing medium for hydroponics? In hydroponics, the growing medium takes place of the dirt or soil, not only to provide nutrients, but so the roots can support the plant weight and hold it upright. There are different types of growing media for hydroponics. Some of the media are rock wool, perlite, clay pellets, pine shavings, and etc. Insoluble hydroponic solution. The essential macronutrients are nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. The essential micronutrients are iron, zinc, copper, manganese, boron, molybdenum, and nickel. The variable micronutrients are chlorine, aluminum, silicon, titanium, cobalt, sodium, and vanadium. And non-essential micronutrients is lithium. How hydroponics farming differ from regular farming? Gardening has evolved to the next stage with the introduction of growing methods like hydroponics. The benefit of this is apparent in the basic consistency of these mediums. Water is easy to work with, has a great solubility factor, and can be controlled to have no add material except that which we add for the benefit of plants' growth. This method leverages the superiority of controlled production to give a more guaranteed crop result the soil, where mass production is a hit or miss and the plants themselves are subject to the goodwill of the seasons and Mother Nature. Hydroponics blends the mess of modern agriculture to provide clean, efficient, replicable, and controllable method of growing. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe.